What's going on, ballers, shot callers, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, and welcome to Track Talk, a part of the Lactic Acid Network. I am your host, Dominique Smith, and wanted to hop on here real quick, nothing too long, just about 10 minutes or so, to give a recap of what we've seen so far in the USA trials and the Jamaican trials. I don't have all the results, and the USA trials are still ongoing. Today really is 2:38. So we're going to see the men's 400 finals and a bunch of other finals, the women's 100 meter hurdles. We're going to see the start of the, start of the 200. We're going to see the women's 400. So there's a lot, and there's a bunch of events that I did not get to. There's going to be a lot to unpack. I believe the women's 1500 is tonight as well as the men's 1500. So got a lot to uncover, got a lot to unpack. Like I said, this is not going to be long, just recapping some stuff that I've seen that's impressed me, and we're going to have a full recap coming out on Tuesday or Wednesday, one of these days. Wednesday. It will be out Wednesday. I'm going to have my man Colin Waitsman. He's going to hop on the show as well. Possibly Matthew Parker, not sure yet. But yeah, it's going to be fun, and you definitely want to stay tuned to that. But without further ado, let's get going. It has been an insane time in Eugene. The crowd that was there. And let me just stop and say this real quick. We got to do better. I'm not necessarily talking about what's going on as far as the attendance in Eugene. That's another conversation. I know it's very expensive, and we've mentioned multiple times on the show, it's very hard to get into Eugene, but that is the best facility in the world, hands down. I think what they're doing in London, is, I would put it second to Eugene. But even it's not necessarily the in-person attendance as much as TV and the inconsistency of letting fans know what channel is going to be on. We got to do better. We have to do better, because you're missing out on so much. And just I'm gonna put that away because I can say a lot about that. And it's not just my opinion. There's a lot of facts that go into it as well. But we're really doing a disservice to our athletes by not properly getting the message out there that they're competing and really promoting the sport. But in the U.S., last night was lit. Fred Kerley, y'all. Fred Kerley. I picked Trayvon Bromell to win the men's 100 at the World Championships. He is on the team. Got to give a shout out to Marvin Bracey, pride of Boone High School here in Orlando, Florida. Actually got a chance he graduated the same year I did, and his school was about 5 miles away, about 5 miles or whatever. But it was not too far away, and got a chance to see him run, up close and personal, being on the track. That dude's a bad boy, and I'm glad that he is, bringing it to the professional stage. But Trayvon Bromell, the pride of Florida, St. Pete area. Fred Kerley make up the team. Christian Coleman got the bye. He scratched last night. Fred Kerley, man, I picked Bromell to win. I'm not changing that pick, but Fred Kerley, that is a bad boy. And the way he is running that race is so impressive to me, because he looks so powerful, and he easily could have gone close to 971 to between 968 and 971 in the finals. And I'm very interested to see what he does in the 200, because now that just kind of changes things, because he has such power, and you saw that. He has a good start. I think I'm not changing my pick, but Kerley is going to be tough to beat. Lamont Jacobs tweeted at him, and it looks like he is back healthy. And Lamont Marcel, that's what I mean. I apologize. And it's good to see him back healthy, because it makes the competition that much better. But it's not a guarantee who's going to win. I'm still rolling with Bromell. I think this is the year he has to win. He ran an impressive time of 981. Like, let's not sneeze at it. And he didn't get out. He made a mistake in the race. Michael Johnson pointed it out, that he made a mistake, but he was able to recover from that mistake. And so he's going to be a factor. It's going to be a fun race. We want to see what Coleman's going to do. I have to look at the heat sheet to see if he's running the 200, but, or, you know, for practice or whatever the case might be. But that dude, Kerley, he's a problem. And I love that he's gaining confidence and that he is really bringing a different kind of energy to the sport. You have to be tough to run the 100. You have to be tough to run the 200 and the 400. The sprints is a race of toughness, but the lower the distance, the tougher you have to be. And he fixed that persona. Another thing that impressed me in the men's 100, staying on the men's side, but going to Jamaica, man, Yohan Blake, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. I thought Oblique Seville was going to be the one to take off because he just made it look so easy. But he had an impressive race too. He ran a 9.8. Yohan Blake ran 9.85 to win the Jamaican championship. I don't. If Yohan Blake can build upon that, I don't think he's at the level of a Kerley or Bromell, or really those are the two that I'm looking at. But he can make things interesting. It, you know, I kind of thought, you know, maybe it'll be a USA sweep. And I still think that's possible. I'm not even going to lie. I still think it's possible that we could see a USA sweep. But if Yohan Blake, he has the experience, he has the toughness. If he stays healthy and can continue to build, he and Oblique can really make things interesting, man. The men's 100, it's great for the competition. It's great for the event. The more competition you have, but that shocked me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't think he had that in him. You know, he ran his fastest time is 9.69, and obviously we know what he can do in the 200, 19.26, the second fastest time of all time behind the great Usain Bolt. But man, that was crazy. Those were the two performances in the men's 100 that stood out to me. The women's 100. Now, let me say this. That was an incredible race that I wish the win was legal. I did not have Melissa Jefferson on this team. But you talk about a clutch factor. You cannot count her out. I don't care how many. She could have run 7,000 races in one season. I'm not counting her out to get on that medal stand, because she gets out fast. And then when Aaliyah Hobbs was starting to create some separation, she couldn't. Jefferson closed, overtook Hobbs, and won that race. And the time of, it was 10:69. Obviously, it does not count because the win was about 2.9, 2.8. So I think that equates to like a 10.8. But still, listen, Melissa Jefferson, hats off to you. Hats off to you. You proved all the doubters wrong. You proved me wrong. And I am so happy for you. Aaliyah Hobbs, I'm very impressed by her. I'm really happy she made this team, because she has such great potential. She has 10.6 potential, man. That you see that when she runs. And so now she makes this team. And T.T. Terry, I can argue there is not a more entertaining athlete than T.T. Terry. Go check out her Twitter account. She's giving live updates at the meet, better than the meet directors and the actual meet itself. She makes the team. And so it's a strong team that they're taking over there. I'm really excited about it. Tamari Davis came at 4th. It's a strong team. It's a very strong team. Sha'Carri Richardson, and here's the thing, I'm not going to slander Sha'Carri at all. And I think that we should concentrate on the ones who won the race and who participated. But for relay purposes, I'm interested to see how she does in the 200, because if she can finish in that top 4, top 5, you know, she's in the relay pool more than likely. And I'm still the mindset, listen, the women can upset Jamaica. I'm probably alone in that sentiment, but I think so. Speaking of Jamaica, I had a video, y'all. I had a video. You know I had a video. You watched the video. You should go back and watch the video. I said don't sleep on Shericka Jackson now. Wins the Jamaican trials 1077. Beast. I know there was some weather issues there or something like that. Elaine Thompson came in third. What they're doing down there is insane, man. And so Shelly Ann, Elaine, I forgot the other young lady who made the team, and I apologize for that. Sharika. I think Sharika is peaking at the right time, and I think she can make things interesting. I think she can. There was a comment that Elaine didn't look good in that first 50 meters of the race. That's nothing I'm concerned about necessarily. And I'm talking about the preliminary rounds. I didn't get a chance to see the finals, just caught up on everything. But I've said this before, and I'll say this again. There's something to be said for experience. And there's something to be said for knowing how to race. I can tell you that firsthand from seeing it, from experiencing it, you know, just even in my middle school days of running track and field, or in the field more so than track. There's something to be said about that. And I think that that's going to go a long way. I'm not worried about Elaine Thompson. I'm not worried about it. Now, I picked Shelly Ann Fraser-Price to win the whole thing, but I'm not worried about Elaine Thompson, you know, getting up to top form when it's time. She still has 2-3 weeks, and it is a weird schedule. Worlds is weird. I don't know why they did the schedule that way, but it is weird. But I think she'll be fine. I definitely think she'll be fine. But I think somebody in the USA is going to crack that podium. I'm sorry. I don't know who. I don't know if it's Aaliyah Hobbs. I don't know if it's Melissa Jefferson. I don't know if it's Terry, but it's not going to be a Jamaican sweep. That's the hot take. It's not going to be a Jamaican sweep. It is not. Want to switch over to some predictions. I think the 1500, let me just say this. If you came on this show, I'm picking you to win the race, more than likely. Outside the 800, Sage Hurdle looked good. I've been trying to tell y'all, don't sleep on Sage. Sage is legit. She will, I believe she's going to make that team tomorrow in the women's 800. Still kind of going back and forth on the men's 800. So much has happened, man, just in the field events. And for those who did not make the team, let me just say this, man. Don't let it define you. Man, everybody just has one bad day, one bad performance, and it's not a career-altering performance. You just learn from it and you get better. But I'm really happy for the young people and some of the people who may not have had that attention and notoriety to get a chance to step up and, you know, make the team and make a name for themselves. And so still recapping the race, we have Michael Norman, who has been running fantastic, slowed down, running a 44.28. And by slowed down, he pretty much started looking at the clock 60, 70 meters out. I think he goes 43.5 today. I think he goes 43.5. Randolph Ross II with maybe a 43.9. I can even see Norman dropping a little lower to 43.4 to match that 43.45 that he ran a couple of years ago at Mount Sac. I think he's going to have a big day. If you saw the live stream, I changed my 400-meter pick. She didn't look great yesterday, but she's in the finals. I think Allison Felix is going to take that. I think she's going to make that team. And I'm really excited for her. I'm picking her to win. Why not? Thing about Allison Felix, you can't count her out. She has a kick that is incredible. And this is where I'm interested to see how the college kids fare. Talitha Diggs is the next great 400-meter runner in the United States. She's already great, but she is the next one in line. And I think she has a Talitha kick, as she says. But I'm it's not the popular pick. I understand what we all saw, but I'm interested. This is where I want to see, where does the difference of running 2 to 3 rounds, you run 2 rounds in college, but now you're running 3 rounds on this scene. I think that's going to play dividends for some athletes, because that's a different kind of fatigue that you have to deal with. So I'm interested to see how that plays out, but I got Felix winning the 400. And kind of going back, you know, to a few things. Want to pull up, I got everything, reopening all the windows from the last session, and we're going to look at some of the events briefly that took place last night. We talked about the 100, obviously, opening round of the hurdles. Women's pole vault, Sandy Morris, she took the win. Katie Nageti, if I'm sorry if I messed that up, please forgive me. But they were two impressive performances. I did watch that. Watch most of it. Well, watch what you could. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. They don't treat field events the same way as they do, any other events. And then, going back to the first day, essentially, the discus throw, got to give a shout out, guys like Andrew Evans, he came out and he balled out. Quenisha Burks, 706, making that championship team. That is just awesome to see. It's like I said, it's awesome to see so many great, names. And then tonight, we're talking about everything else, but the question is, we already know who's going to win. We already know who's going to win the 400-meter hurdles, because I'm of the mindset Sid could trip on 6 hurdles and still run something stupid. But I think she breaks the world record. You jog, the last 50 meters of 52.90. Yeah, you're breaking your own world record. And so I'm interested to see if Britton Wilson, can she make the team? And then I'm looking at Anna Cockrell, Shamir Little, and Ashley Spencer. Who can step up out of that group to make the team? In the women's 1500, I told you I believe that Sinclair Johnson's going to win. I'm interested to see second and third on that. Talked about the 400. Women's 100 hurdles. We don't know who's going to be obviously on the start list for the finals, but I think, just being honest, it's going to be fun. Tania Marshall is a threat to win. Kenny Harrison is a major threat to win. But the one that I am choosing to take this is the one that's looked impressive to me, was Alicia Johnson. That's who I think is going to take it home. And then the men's, look, don't sleep on Trey Cunningham. I think he makes that finals, and I think that it's going to be an epic battle with Cunningham, Grant Holloway, as well as Devin Allen. But I have Devin Allen. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. I have Devin Allen winning. So that's just a quick preview of everything that went down. Currently, the women's javelin throw is going on. I think that Kara Winger and Maggie Malone are two to watch, because they have two incredible throws in that field. They are 1 and 2. Well, Maggie Malone first, and then Kara Winger second when it comes to distance and how far they've thrown this year. Kara's a friend of the show, and always rooting for everybody that comes on board. But anyway, I wanted to make this quick because we're going to have another recap probably tomorrow, just recapping what happened today, and then obviously what happens tomorrow. And then we're going to do a full recap. We got a lot of great stuff coming on, but do me a favor. Lactic Acid has merch. We got a sticker, got a water bottle, we got a shirt. Just got the water bottle in, and it is lit. And with these hot days, you want a thermal water bottle, so you definitely want that one. Lactic, all caps, like you see above, 10. All those combined together, you get a nice little discount on your order. You can follow me, Don Smith _news on Twitter, Lactic Acid Podcast on Instagram. That's where you can find us. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Exclusive content coming out. We got some fun stuff on the Lactic Acid Podcast Network, including the regular podcast. We have some amazing guests coming. And then Track Talk, we chop it up. You know how we do. And so I definitely appreciate you listening. Definitely be sure to tune in to NBC today for the action, and then tune in to NBC tomorrow from 4 to 5 Eastern time, and then from 5 to 6 on the USA Network. That's where you can see all of the action. Now, the schedule has changed due to the heat in orbit for some of the races. They've switched some things around. So everything is bumped up. Not sure how that's going to affect things, but definitely stay tuned. I'll try to retweet it as I see it. And I got to give a shout out to my friend Kristen Dornbos up there with the Paper Trails Creative Company. Be sure to give them a follow. They do great things, trying to make runners inclusive to everybody, proving the motto that every runner belongs. But until next time, I appreciate y'all. Peace.